Thank you. I want to talk about the receptive mode. Recently, I manifested my dream car, a Tesla, but it wasn't about the actual manifestation. It was the process along the way. It was the journey. It was the unfolding. It was the acknowledging every time that I would see a Tesla on the road, and it would light me up, and I'd just be so happy that I saw one. And then it was one of the most fun days I've had was we were driving up from San Diego to the North LA workshop. And right as soon as we pulled out of the driveway, I was on the phone with my really good friend Bridget, and I was already in the receptive mode, and I saw two right away. And I just lit up, and I looked over at my friend Courtney, who was driving, and I was like, I'm in the receptive mode. And then we saw over 30 Teslas in 2 hours. It was amazing. And so I was like, I'm going to have a Tesla in my driveway, and that was like a couple weeks ago. And so since then, it's just...
Do you think you were lighted up because it meant you were going to have one, or were you lighted up because it felt good in that moment to see them? Because that is a very important differentiation. Because if lighting up is the means to an end that hasn't been accomplished yet, you throw resistance on the trail. Right. But if you're lighting up just because you're lighting up, now it's all smooth sailing.
That's what I wanted to talk about. That was the major aha moment that I get with anything that I want my desire. It's the state of being that gives the feeling. That's the reason why you want it. So that's the whole point.
So you want it because you want it.
Because it feels good to want it.
So is it because you've already created it? You've already step one and step two'd it into creation. And so now, because it is so done, there's no angst about it. And so now lining up with it, anytime you line up with it, is just that.
It just feels good. It feels really good.
And so what is the purpose for the desire to begin with? What is its ultimate reason for being?
The state of being, to feel good, to be in alignment.
Yep.
Did everybody get that? I just wanted to share that because it's so people get caught up in the money in the bank or the car. I have the car and I could lose it tomorrow.
And what that's about, we're going to repeat ourselves again, but what that's about is because most people are wanting the experience of all of the physical senses. So we want to ask you, is it delicious to be in that car?
It's so delicious.
And so now those physical senses get piled on top of all of that, and so it's just even more delicious. But had you needed the physical of it first and foremost, then it slows it way down.
It could be a match to it. And what I wanted to also share is that the unfolding of it, I just wanted a Tesla. I didn't know that I wanted a Tesla that had insane mode that goes like 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. My inner being kind of guided me to the whole process of a car that I wouldn't have ordered it for myself if somebody said, okay, this is what, everything unfolded. I was following my bliss. I was following my excitement. And
so the ideas kept coming. So do you think that your desire had even evolved beyond your ability to interpret it?
Absolutely. I know it did.
Because of other factors that you had put in all along. In other words, you've always liked a powerful car.
Yeah.
And you care about conservation and beauty and function and leading edginess, which a Tesla certainly is. And so as you have put all of that into your vortex, you only have the ability to know in a way to verbalize it so far, but your vortex knew even more than you were consciously aware of, didn't it?
That's the best part.
And that's where the discovery, the adventure, the newness, the surprise, the feeling of being blessed and worthy begins to come in.
And the worthiness and the deserving, I feel like that's what a lot of people have some trouble getting to, that maybe they don't feel worthy or deserving enough to have the things that they want.
Only because they've practiced otherwise. Just got to have closure on that for a little while and it'll go away. Because it won't stay active if you don't keep it active.
Right.
Unworthiness will not stay active if you don't keep it active because it's not normal.
It's not the truth.
And it will not stay active unless you practice it.
Very good. So I just wanted to share that. I do want to talk about one other thing. You touched a little bit about addiction and things like that. And so when you have somebody that's close to you, a family member, that's their path of most allowance to feel good. But then you have other family members that are focused on action of trying to help them and so forth. Do you have any soothing words or anything to help with that and how you can deal with family members that are focused on this one person or other family member that's really, they want to take action, they want to do all these things to help this person? Obviously, I know I need to stay in alignment and get off the subject, but I still have to interact with them. I live, thousands of miles away and I do really good, but I'm about to go spend a lot of time in a very close environment with these people. So are there any things that you can give me?
Yeah, don't go. Well,
That's not an option. I have to go.
the thing that we would say to them
Okay.
as they're trying to help someone
Yes.
is the exact thing that we want to say to you as you're trying to help someone who helps someone.
Okay. That's what I need to hear.
So
Ready.
you want them to understand that focusing upon the problem never helps. And we want you to understand that focusing upon the problem of them focusing upon the problem never helps.
Of course.
Someone in this chain of pain has to decide to be the one who unconditionally feels good. So we want to ask you, now we sort of gave you a clue when we said don't go.
Right. I understand.
But you say, well, given everything that's involved, that really isn't an option. I feel I must go. So what we're saying is, don't go there. Don't go to a problem. Don't go into a nest of people who have decided that they are in intervention mode.
Thank you.
Because intervention mode is sticking my nose in somebody else's business where it does not belong mode. That's what intervention mode always is, because you cannot vibrate for another person. Exactly. You know what's better than intervention mode? Loving them anyway mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at them through the eyes of source mode, and not just looking at the one who you're worried about the addiction, but looking at those who are worried about them. In other words, it's not an easy thing to mind your own business, because when you care about people, they feel like they are your business. But we want you to focus upon the vortexual, vibrational reality version of them. And that's really what deliberate creating is all about. Do I, in my human form, have the ability to focus upon my vortex version when the see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it version is right in front of my face in a very vivid way? Well, the answer to that question is no. You're probably not going to be very good at it unless you've practiced that. And then sometimes you have to put up with being called aloof, or being called unavailable, or being called disinterested. And so that's really the crux of your question. How can I, Abraham, how can I pretend to be what they need me to be in order to keep things level? And we say, here we go again. So what you've just got to decide to be is the happy, tuned in, tapped in person that you are. So this is exactly the way we would approach this if we were standing in your physical shoes. So imagine planning a trip somewhere, and there are a lot of moving parts involved, and you're trying to keep every part of the trip in your mind. So how am I going to get my Tesla out of the garage? Will the garage door actually work? When I back out, will the path be clear? Will I be able to move out onto the thoroughfare, and will there be clear traffic on my way to the airport? Will I be able to find a parking place in the airport? And will I be able to manage my bags and get them across the curb? And will the baggage handlers handle my bags properly? And will I get on an airplane, and will the airplane be on time? Will it go to really where I want it to be? Will I land in the other place? When I get there, will there be someone to meet? In other words, you would make yourself never want to go anywhere if you had to have all of those things active in your mind, if you were trying to deal with all of those things that aren't even present right now all at once. It's a silly analogy in the sense that no one would want to live like that. And yet it's the way so many of you do relative to so many things, because you haven't experienced consciously, you haven't been in step 5 long enough to really trust that the universe is going to feed to you what you need when you need it, and that you're going to be there to receive it.
Right.
That's really what we want you to realize, is that you're going to get the right impulse at the right time if you're in the receptive mode. If you haven't let the circumstances worry you, if you haven't been fretting over it, if you haven't been staying awake at night, if you're expecting a positive outcome even though you don't know all of the details of how the positive outcome will be, then you will be surprised and delighted at the opportunities that will reveal themselves to you, at the conversations that other people will start, at the receptive mode that they will be in, at the circumstances and events that will be orchestrated so that your interaction in it will be of benefit. Things don't have to be hard. They are not supposed to be hard. And when you're in the receptive mode, they're not hard. Nothing serious is going on. Things are always working out for you. And the thrill as you said. It's not the end result of having the car. It was the fun of the dance all along the way. It was the surprise and delight at who said what when, and how they looked when they said it, and how so many things that you wished to be said didn't even have to be said by you. They were said by others. And what a happy party the whole thing was, and how good it was to all get together, and how everyone is feeling better for having had the experience. It's the journey. 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 It's going to take a while. It's the journey. 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 Journey in the receptive mode, divine. Journey not in the receptive mode, hard. Hard.
That's exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We have enjoyed this interaction more than these words can convey. And fortunately, we do not have to rely only on words, but vibration and emotion. It is exhilarating to us to know you. We want to reflect back to you the perfection of that which you are. And we like it when you tap into our feeling of eagerness and ecstasy about how you're doing and about what you are accomplishing. You are productive whether you acknowledge that you are or not. And you are of enormous value whether you know it or not. You are adding to all that is in ways that would take longer than you have left in this physical body to even explain to you. As we've been together in these hours, the thing that we have liked most about it is the movement in your vibration, the clarity that has been coming in bits and snatches. In other words, sometimes it feels like a stronger run to you than others. But the result of this conversation is that you are in a different vibrational place than you have ever been before. And we tell you because we know you, and because we can feel you, and because we are vibrationally oriented and we can know the vibration of that which you are, that you are on the brink of logical, obvious improvement in your life experience. And so it's good for you to hear these words and to get yourself into a little place of expectation about it. Things are always working out for you, but then again, things have always been working out for you. And sometimes when we tell you that things have always been working out for you, it makes you not believe that things now are always working out for you, because it hasn't always felt like things have always been working out for you, even though things have always been working out for you. But you have never been in such a receptive mode of allowing the things that are working out for you to be realized and recognized by you in the moment. And that's when life really begins to become fun. When you've deliberately launched rockets and you've deliberately moved your emotional state, you've deliberately chosen thoughts because they feel better. You've got your hands in your own clay. You are aware of wanting to feel good, and you are aware that you can feel better, and you are deliberately working at feeling better. We are very pleased about this interaction. Together we have taken thought beyond what it has been before. And now we are eager for your full-blown manifestations of the things that you want. The vortex is a wonderful thing, and it will always be there for you. But it's time for you to cash in your chips and experience some of the manifestations of what's been ripe for you for a while. And as a result of this conversation, there is a readiness that is new, and we are going to enjoy your discovery of your creative ability. There is great love here for you, and as always, we remain